Have you ever imagined a country so tiny it looks like a ribbon wrapped around a single river, yet inside it holds stories powerful enough to shock the entire world? That's the Gambia, the smallest country on mainland Africa, stretching only about 300 miles along the Gambia River and almost completely surrounded by Senegal. Despite its size, the Gambia is rich in history, culture, and unbelievable taboos. And today, we'll uncover 15 shocking and mysterious facts about the Gambia, things that will keep you glued to the very last second. Number 15. The eerie ritual, women bathing with crocodiles to pray for children. In the town of Bakau lies a pond called Kachikli that makes anyone shiver at the thought. For over 500 years, women struggling with infertility have believed that stepping into the pond and bathing alongside massive crocodiles would bless them with children. These creatures, stretching over 7 feet long and weighing hundreds of pounds with razor-sharp teeth, are considered gentle and protected by spirits. Before entering the water, women must undergo a ritual performed by a shaman, with prayers and sacred water sprinkled on them. Countless stories tell of women who once lost hope but found new beginnings after this ritual. For visitors, it's both a sacred experience and a heart-pounding moment. One mistake could turn a blessing into a nightmare. If you were standing at Kachikli Pond, would you dare to step in, or just watch from afar? But even if you walk away safely, another shock awaits, this time from Gambia's strict laws. Number 14. Harsh law, men wearing women's clothes can go to jail. In many places, men dressing in women's clothes is just entertainment, fashion, or stage performance. But in the Gambia, it can be a crime. Under President Yahya Jammeh, a 2013 law stated that men wearing women's clothing was unnatural, punishable by up to 5 years in prison or a massive fine. This applied even at costume festivals. Something harmless to tourists could quickly turn into a serious legal nightmare. With over 90% of the population Muslim, religion and law are deeply tied, creating boundaries visitors must respect. In the Gambia, one wrong choice of outfit can turn a vacation into a disaster. Do you see this law as protecting tradition or too harsh on differences? If you find this shocking, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And if clothing alone can land you in prison, a simple hand gesture might get you in even more trouble. Number 13. Culture shock. The thumbs up sign is an insult. Can you believe that a gesture familiar in most countries is a taboo in the Gambia? While in the West a thumbs up means good job or okay, in many Gambian villages it's taken as mockery or an insult. Tourists have accidentally made locals upset, even losing business over it. In Gambian culture, body language often speaks louder than words. In cities, the youth influenced by global culture use the positive meaning, but in rural areas, one innocent thumbs up can ruin an entire conversation. A small gesture, harmless elsewhere, can flip the mood in seconds. If you visited the Gambia, would you remember this silent rule? And if small actions can change everything, wait until you hear about their unusual marriage laws. Number 12. Strange law. Getting married or divorced without being present. Few places on earth have marriage laws as odd as the Gambia. Since 1941, under Islamic law, a person can marry or divorce without being physically present. Instead, they appoint a proxy, a representative, to go through the ceremony. That means a man working in Europe could still marry back home, or a woman abroad could divorce without ever returning. With tens of thousands of migrant workers, this law once made things easier. But it also caused disputes. Some discovered they were married or divorced on paper without their knowledge. For outsiders, it's one of the strangest marriage systems in the world. Do you see this as smart flexibility or a loophole leading to heartbreak? And if marriages can happen in absentia, wait until you see how even giant rats become lifesavers in the Gambia. Number 11. Giant rats, the agents that detect landmines and diseases. Rats are often seen as pests, but in the Gambia they're heroes. Giant pouched rats, nearly 3 feet long, have supersensitive noses that detect landmines left from wars or identify tuberculosis bacteria in lab samples. In just 30 minutes, one trained rat can search an area the size of a tennis court far faster and safer than humans with metal detectors. Thanks to them, thousands of lives were saved, and farmland once deadly is now safe to use. These rats also help doctors diagnose TB, saving patients in time. They're called hero rats, tiny but brave warriors, proving that heroes come in unexpected forms. If you saw it yourself, would you believe a rat could save more lives than high-tech machines? And if rats impressed you, just wait until you see Gambian women balancing an entire supermarket on their heads. Number 10. Astonishing Gambian women carrying an entire store on their heads. On the busy streets of the Gambia, you'll see something jaw-dropping, women carrying what looks like an entire mini-market balanced on their heads. Not just a few items, but everything from ripe mangoes, dried fish, red chili peppers, and bags of charcoal, to water jugs weighing dozens of pounds. What's even more incredible is that they walk gracefully, chatting, smiling, even laughing, while everything stays perfectly balanced. This skill is trained from childhood. Girls start with light items, gradually moving to heavier loads. By adulthood, carrying goods this way is second nature, both an art and a livelihood. For visitors, it's not only impressive but also a symbol of Gambian women's strength and resilience. If you saw it in person, would you believe an entire supermarket could rest on someone's head? If you find this fascinating, you can hit subscribe to join us on more strange journeys ahead. And if this sight amazes you, Gambia's unique dining culture will surprise you even more. Number 9. Eating with your hands, a tradition that shocks visitors. In the Gambia, meals are not just about eating, they're about community. Families and friends gather around a large round tray, sharing one dish, and everyone eats with their right hand. Classic meals like demoda, peanut stew, benekin, colorful jollof rice, or yossa, chicken with onions, are all served together. Each person eats from the section in front of them, never reaching across, and always avoids using the left hand, considered unclean. For tourists, it may feel awkward at first, but soon you'll feel like family. This custom keeps Gambian meals not only delicious but full of warmth. If you sat at such a table, would you try eating with your hands like the locals? And if eating is this unique, just wait until you hear about how Gambians vote. Number 8. Voting with marbles, a one-of-a-kind democracy. While most of the world uses paper ballots, Gambians vote with e-marbles. After proving their identity, each voter receives a single glass marble and enters the booth. There, metal drums marked for each candidate are set up. They drop the marble in, and instantly a loud ting rings out, proof the vote was cast. Counting is simple, just empty the marbles and tally them. This system began in 1965 when illiteracy rates were high, and it helped ensure fair elections. In fact, it played a role in ending 22 years of dictatorship in 2016. For tourists, watching a democratic vote with marbles feels like witnessing a real-life game, simple yet powerful. Do you think this system is more fun and transparent than paper ballots? If you're surprised, leave a like to let us know. And if voting is that unusual, wait until you learn about a hidden chapter of Gambian history. Number 7. A buried secret. The Gambia almost became a second Liberia. Few know that in the 19th century, the Gambia nearly became another Liberia. At the time, the US considered sending freed African Americans to settle in Africa, just like it did in Liberia. The Gambia River, stretching deep inland, seemed ideal. The US even sent diplomats to negotiate with Britain, which controlled Gambia. But Britain feared losing power, and locals refused to give up fertile land. The plan collapsed, leaving no settlers behind. Today, only rare documents recall this what-if of history. Have you ever wondered how different Gambia's fate would be if that plan had succeeded? And while history missed that turn, even Gambia's shape tells a wild story, born from a river raced between empires. Number 6. Strange borders, a ribbon-shaped country from a river race. Look at a map and Gambia looks like no other, a narrow strip over 200 miles long hugging the Gambia River. This odd shape came from a 19th century race between Britain and France. Both wanted the river, the key to transporting gold, ivory, and timber. Britain held the river's mouth and sent warships inland, while France expanded around it. After years of tension, they struck a bizarre deal. Britain kept only a 6-mile wide strip along both sides of the river, while France took all the land beyond, today's Senegal. And so, the Gambia was born, tiny, but holding the river's lifeblood. Isn't it strange how the destiny of a nation was decided by a scramble for one river? And after decoding these borders, let's move to music, where a sacred instrument is off limits to outsiders. Number 5. The Forbidden Kora, music only for the Griot bloodline. In the Gambia, not everyone can touch the kora, a harp-like instrument tied to the Griot caste, who for centuries preserved history and ancestry through music and storytelling. To them, the kora isn't just music, it's sacred heritage. Tradition says if you weren't born into a Griot family, you can't perform it publicly. Even today, while music schools may teach outsiders, strict rules remain. You may learn, even play, but never perform before the Griot community without their blessing. For tourists, hearing the kora is enchanting and a reminder that some cultural treasures are not meant to be casually claimed. If given the chance, would you dare pluck a few notes, or simply listen in awe? And from sacred music, look up, nature paints the sky with a breathtaking show. Number 4. A sky exploding with gold, bird migrations over Gambia. Each year, the Gambia becomes a paradise for bird lovers, with over 500 species migrating here. At dawn or dusk, flocks take off together, turning the sky into a golden storm of wings. Their calls mix with wing beats, creating a natural symphony no camera can fully capture. Despite being smaller than Connecticut, just 4,000 square miles, Gambia's ecosystems range from forests and wetlands to savannas and riverbanks, perfect for wildlife. Tourists often ride boats through mangroves or sit by the river at sunset, watching thousands of birds return to their nests. Would you want to look up one evening and see the sky transform into a storm of wings? And after this breathtaking sight, we return to Earth, where even daily life brings surprises. Number 3. Shock, a nation run almost entirely on cash. While many countries rely on cards and digital wallets, the Gambia is still ruled by cash. From bus tickets to meals to lodging, almost everything is paid in cash. The dalasi is the official currency, though the West African CFA franc is accepted near the border. Tourists must plan ahead. Without enough cash, you might end up stranded, since credit cards work only in a few big hotels. Though the government has tried to modernize, old habits and poor infrastructure keep cash king. For visitors, it feels both inconvenient and fascinating, like stepping back in time. Would you be ready to travel where a credit card is nearly useless? And if money shocks you, the next secret about a controversial industry will leave you speechless. Number 2. Love tourism, a secret that stirs global debate. If Thailand is known as the capital of love tourism, Gambia is not far behind, but with a twist. Here, not only do Western men seek local women, but older European women also travel here to find love with young Gambian men. The hotspot is the Senegambia Strip, full of bars, restaurants, and glowing nightlife. For many Gambians, these relationships aren't just personal, they're a livelihood, making up nearly 20% of the national GDP. Yet, it sparks controversy. On one hand, it brings jobs and money. On the other, it fuels stereotypes. For outsiders, it's both fascinating and troubling. Do you think this is mutual benefit or a sad reality behind tourism? And after exploring this sensitive issue, let's end on a hopeful note with a bold choice for the planet. Number 1. A surprising finale. Gambia bans plastic nationwide to save the planet. While many developed countries still struggle with plastic waste, tiny Gambia made a bold move. In 2015, the government banned thin plastic bags nationwide, one of the biggest pollution culprits. Their plan goes further, cutting 86% of plastic waste by 2033, expanding to single-use bottles, and promoting recycling. In villages, women now turn discarded plastic into purses and handbags, creating income while cleaning the environment. Other projects turn peanut shells into fuel or press plastic into paving bricks. From a small coastal nation, Gambia aims to be a global model for sustainability. It's not just policy, it's a message. Even the smallest nations can make the biggest impact. Do you think your country should also try a total plastic ban like Gambia? And so, from eerie rituals to bold environmental action, the Gambia proves small doesn't mean insignificant. Sometimes, the most overlooked nations bring the world the biggest surprises. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the Gambia's unique mysteries. Every country carries stories both strange and inspiring. And this journey doesn't end here. If you'd like to keep exploring the world with me, hit subscribe. New lands and untold secrets await in the next video.